he grabs the chair and like
the guy grabs the player.
He stood up, grabs the chair, like picks it up, slams it. I got the standard. How much do you cost?
Did you?
Yeah, I got it a few times.
Okay, so what is your counter?
The counter to this I also had. This is where we're at.
Welcome back to Changing 100.
Hello, everyone.
My name is Tori.
I'm Krystal.
And this is a podcast about party pit dealing in Vegas and what it's like working in a casino.
Yay, we're party pit dealers. I'm a former party pit dealer.
Cry. I'm still a party pit dealer.
But this isn't a podcast where we talk all the wild Vegas stories. This season is already off to a great start. We started doing interviews this season, and we are getting some really good stuff.
Good stories.
Yeah.
So interesting.
So very excited for everything that's happening with the show right now. So fun and exciting. And in this episode,
we're both exhausted because we just finished Super Bowl weekend.
This episode's probably coming out like way past Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
But at this moment in time, we are still coming down from it.
Yeah, still dead. For the first time ever, it was in Las Vegas.
Yay. Well, in general, Super Bowl is one of the biggest.
It is the single biggest day of the year. After that would be March Madness, but I'm pretty sure Super Bowl Sunday tops any single day of March Madness.
Yeah, I think so. For Vegas, for gambling, it's
gambling, hotels, food and beverage, for everything. Like, it is one of the biggest days, and it is the biggest day of the year in Las Vegas every single year. And then this year we just so happened to be hosting it.
Yeah.
So, someone told me, one of the girls I work with told me that there's supposed to be 500,000 people in town. And then I think I saw in a newspaper article that my mom sent me, actually, that there was 350,000 people. Stadium tickets were going for like 25,000 a pop. The good old Chiefs.
65,000
fans. Yeah, so if you got 350,000 people coming to fill 65,000 seats, you can charge pretty much whatever you want to charge.
Wow.
And people are going to pay it.
That's wild.
It's crazy.
I mean, tickets to the Super were in the millions.
Yeah. No, one of the girls at work told me that some guy told her that he bought a ticket for him and his buddy, and it was $59,000. And I was like, where? Are you on the 50-yard line on the field? Because I better be able to talk to Jesus after that game if I'm spending $60K on
$60,000.
2 tickets.
That's a car.
Yeah.
It's like a brand new.
I could do a lot of things with $60,000 right now.
Drive right off the lot, paid off car.
I could pay off my car, get LASIK eye surgery, get my boobs done, buy as much McDonald's as I wanted for the rest of my life.
For your whole recovery.
Yeah, for my entire recovery.
That's wild. For a football game.
I know. Crazy.
That's Vegas.
So the good old Chiefs and the 49ers. Chiefs took the W.
I'll clap. I like the Chiefs too. I was happy for them.
I'm from Kansas City, so
yeah.
I was living. I was living, and it was funny because I was watching the game, and there was more 49ers fans than Chiefs fans, which makes sense because we're right next door. You know, it makes sense. But they were like, I saw some 49ers fans like in the face of some Chiefs fans. Yeah,
I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw none of that at my property.
In my head, I was just like, you know what? We've done it in less time. We've come back in less time. We've won in less time.
Was this the shortest amount of time? Because it was what, like 20 seconds, 18 seconds left on the clock when it happened?
The shortest amount of time has been 13.
How much time was it? Oh, this one was like more than 13.
This one was more than 13 seconds because that would have been definitely something that would have blown up. There was a Taylor Swift over and under.
What?
There was a Taylor Swift over and under to see how many times they were going to show her.
Oh. How many
throughout the game?
They didn't show her that many times.
Well, the over and under was 4.5. And they definitely showed her more than 4.5 times.
Did they? I feel like they didn't.
No, they did because one of the girls was telling me that by halftime she had been shown 3 times.
Oh, okay. So I wasn't paying attention then.
Yeah.
I was also getting ready for work at the same time,
Mm,
so
true.
I definitely wasn't paying attention.
True.
But I'm from the Bay, so I wanted the Niners to win. I knew the Chiefs were going to win because, come on,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
proof is there.
Man,
So it was a great game.
well,
It
dang, I
was a
didn't
great
know you
game.
were from the Bay. I was talking mad smack about fans earlier today.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah. They're horrible. Everyone's fans are
I was talking
horrible.
mad smack. The Chiefs fans are great.
Are they?
I'm biased,
I
but
don't know.
no, the Chiefs fans are nice, but I just think people from the Midwest are nice in general. So
I mean, no, that's true. Yeah.
crazy.
So, biggest gambling day of the year in Vegas.
Mhm.
Really great game. It was amazing. But as far as the industry goes, I'm talking 6, 7, 8 day strings. People are doing doubles, if not triples.
12-hour shifts.
12-hour shifts. You're not sleeping.
Long days, long days. And then not only that, like even if you're doing your normal schedule or something, how busy it is, you're just so physically and mentally tired because it's nonstop.
Nonstop.
From the second you start, it is nonstop. Like I think Friday night, I didn't even look up from my table once.
Yeah.
Like I
It's
came downstairs from
nonstop.
break and my feet were hurting, and I was like, "Fuck, what time is it?" And I was like, "Oh, cool, it's 1." Like 5 hours of my shift went by that fast. Like I was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
cool."
you're busy the whole time.
Yeah, like I didn't look up one time. And then I think the next day some guy came in and was like, "I played with you yesterday. We did good." And I was like, "Oh, good." But I'm like pretty good about remembering people, and I didn't remember him. And then I was like, "Oh, that's cuz I didn't look up once last
Yeah.
night. I was looking for hand signals
Mm-hmm.
or I was mucking and pushing chips. That's all. I didn't look up one time."
And we're so tired that as bad as it can sound, we don't have time to really do the back and forth with the
I know
customers
the like
because
conversations and
we're so
talking,
tired. We don't want to mess up. We're just trying to make
and
sure that
it's
everything's done
busy.
correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Table minimums are high. People are buying in a lot. Money's flowing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a lot. We're tired today.
We're a
It's
little bit rich, but we're tired.
yeah. It's the following Tuesday, and I'm still like,
Oh, for sure.
we both worked yesterday though,
Mm-hmm.
so today is our Saturday.
Yeah. And I had to text you and push it back 30 minutes because my text was 30 minutes later from when we were supposed to start with the sleep phase because
I
I
was
was
like,
like, I
it's
can't.
fine. I was like, thank God.
I can't.
I was like, if you wanted to cancel today, low key, when I
Honestly.
saw your text, I was like, maybe she canceled, and then, but it's fine because we're here.
30-minute
We're
window.
recording.
I was like, we just need 30 minutes.
Yeah. So, anything crazy? Did anything crazy happen?
I got the standard. How much do you cost?
Did you?
Yeah, I got it a few times.
Really? At your casino?
Mhm.
Good for you, girl.
Yeah, I got you look cute. What time are you off? But I'm not party pit anymore, guys. So I am at a luxury property. I'm with um millions of dollars kind of players. So when I get the hey, you're kind of cute. What time are you off? I'm just like that's
I'd have been like, I'm off when I got
loaded.
10K.
Yeah, that's a loaded question,
Yeah.
sir.
I'd have been like, I could be off right now if you slide me 10 bands. What are you trying to do? When are you off?
Yeah.
When does your wallet open? You let me know, sir.
I see here you have a $2 million line.
There you go. I see here you have special limits on Bach, and
Yeah.
it just so happens that I deal Bach.
But yeah, I did get it this weekend. Yeah, me
Okay,
and my long
good.
sleeves and
Your
pants.
curtain outfit.
Yeah, can't barely see me from like the mid neck up.
Oh
That's
my
all
God, I
the
love
skin you
that.
get.
See,
Yeah,
that's it. Good for
and my
you.
hands. That's it.
Good for you.
Yeah,
Killed it.
so
Did your nails survive?
a little. They're chipping on the corners.
Wow.
They always do here though because I don't know what I do with maybe the chips. It's
I was
clay
gonna
chips,
say my
but they
nails have
like
never
different.
chipped dealing.
Really? I don't know what it is then. For some reason,
Maybe it's because your nails are natural.
3, maybe. Yeah.
Because mine are not. She's a fake bitch.
I don't know.
Interesting.
I got that. I
You
got
got
the
that one?
standard like how much do you cost? What time are you off? A lot of money. A lot of
Yep.
money. And I'm sure it'll come to me later, but anything happen? How did your week go?
So my week technically started on Thursday and went through Sunday at 4 in the morning, and it was all a blur. And I think I slept maybe a total of 6 hours for the 4 days. And by the time Sunday rolled around, I was in so much pain because my feet were hurting. My back was hurting. But I did doubles Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And Sunday, one of the girls I was working with at my cocktailing job, she was like, some guy just told me he had an extra ticket and offered it to me. And I was like, so you're going? I was like, bitch, shut up. Are you going? And she was like, no, I just laughed. And I was like, excuse me.
I'd have been like, so what's
I'd have been
your
like,
number?
someone just
Where are we
offered you.
meeting? Yeah.
Someone just said, hey, I have an extra ticket. You've been a great server all day. You want to come? I would have called out of that job. I would have called out of my next job, and I would have called out of the job that I had to do on Monday.
Right.
I'd have been like, absolutely.
I'm going. I'll be there.
For the history of it?
Yeah.
I've never been to a Super Bowl game.
Yeah. No.
For a $10,000 ticket?
Yeah.
For
I'm
free?
going.
Like, I will buy you a beer,
I'm not
sir.
making $10,000
I'll
at work
buy you
that
a $50 beer there.
Right. I'm not making anywhere near 10,000 at work. I'd rather just call out.
Yes.
And go to the Super Bowl.
Like the history of that? Oh, I so would have gone.
And the story behind it. Somebody just
Right.
liked me and gave me a ticket.
Right. No, that would have been a great tip. Could you imagine? That would have been like the tip of her career.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure not the tip of her career.
I mean,
but like
for
that would have been a story.
Yeah.
A story of her career for sure. Crazy. I was like upset she didn't go.
There was a lot of people that I was with very like his big players, so they all got free tickets.
Wow.
And yeah, there was a lot of, oh hey, thanks for getting me a ticket from their buddies and stuff. And I'm like, can I go? Can I get a free ticket?
Excuse me, I know you have a drunk friend that's not gonna make it.
Exactly.
I know there's one that's not gonna make it or doesn't want to be there. Would rather be gambling.
But I'll go.
Exactly.
And I'll behave.
Exactly. I feel like I was gonna say something.
We live in these buildings at this point.
I can't even, like, my brain's not even functioning.
No, not at all.
Like, it's really hard for me to put together words. Like, I was talking to, when I came into work Monday night, because I got to sleep all day Monday, thank God. And when I went to work Monday night, the girls were like asking me how the weekend was and how I was cocktailing, because I just started this job. They're like, how's cocktailing? How'd it go? And I just couldn't even form thoughts to share. Like, my brain was so tired. I was so tired. But day of at the casino in the party pits, so it's usually like dead while the game is going on.
Oh yeah,
and then the second the game ends, it like floods and just all of a sudden it's crazy.
Yeah.
But almost saw the fight, and it was kind of wild because I'm standing at my table. I have like 3 players. And these guys are like screaming and they're like in each other's face, like real close. They're pretty much the same size. One's a little bit taller, but they're pretty much the same size, same build. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be like a fair fight. Unless one of them's like crazy, because, you know, crazy always beats strong and fast. Because if you're psycho, like,
oh yeah,
you're going to do some wild shit.
Yeah, when you're psycho, you're going for it.
Yeah, I was like, unless one of them's crazy. So I'm like watching it. They're like, this one guy specifically is like in this dude's face, like nonstop. He pushes the fuck out of him, like both hands on his chest, all of his force, shoves him. He like stumbles back, hits the table, rebounds, starts walking away. Rebounds, starts walking away. And I'm like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah, okay.
So he's like walking away. This guy's following him, like still yelling at him. He turns around, he yells back, keeps walking. The other guy follows him, hands on his back, pushes him, like forces him forward. He keeps walking. And I'm like, I was impressed as fuck. Like, I was like, whoa.
Self-control.
The self-control, the patience that this man had, like, to be fully shoved. And clearly he was mad too. Like, he was yelling back. Like, and just kept walking. Like, I was like, I have to tell that story, because I was like, that was more of a what the fuck to me than I think anything I've ever experienced, especially in an actual fight, because the patience that man had blew my mind.
Now I'm wondering, maybe he's like, I can't get in trouble.
Well, then I was trying to figure out, I was like, I wonder like who he is. And like maybe he's somebody, or maybe he's like famous or a fighter or something and he can't fight. Like, I don't know. Like, I wasn't really looking at who they were. I was just seeing I wasn't looking at their face details and stuff. I was just seeing it happen.
Just watching it, yeah.
But that really blew my mind. And then afterwards, because I counted tokes that night, so I had to stay late. But I was waiting for all the tables to close so we could leave. And I talked to one of the security guards, and I was like, "How was your night?" And he was like, "Just stupid fights." He was like, "It was just fight after fight after fight tonight."
Have you seen
people fighting
the stuff online with people who are fighting and just losing their minds, like Chiefs fans and Niners fans just going at it?
No.
There's a lot of videos. If you go on TikTok and look up Super Bowl Las Vegas, so many fights everywhere. So I can imagine.
I'm sure. Like, no, I'm sure.
Security is busy.
So something that we didn't do last year, but I guess they did this year because I wasn't in the roulette pit this year. So I guess the girls were telling me that they started to pull the money in towards the rack. Like where the chips are, the colored chips. So the supervisor like had them start pulling money in towards the middle where the colored chips are because they were preparing as soon as the game ended for some like crazy shit to happen. So they were pulling the money in towards the table so it wasn't so far out on the end.
Yeah.
In case they had to throw lids real quick or something. And we didn't have to do that last year. So they were expecting like
they were
expecting some wild shit to happen. Because I think they knew that the game was going to be an upset because it was the Niners were pretty much ahead the whole time, and then at the very end it was so close. And then to win how they won with seconds on the clock, like just by 3 points, like
yeah,
it was gonna be an upset no matter who won. It was gonna be an upset.
Yeah, either way.
So the security guard was telling me lots of fighting.
Everything's such a blur. Everything's such a blur.
I feel like I can't even tell anything because I don't even. Also, when it's so busy like that, there's less what the fucks.
Yeah,
because you're just working.
You're
just working. You don't have time to look up and see crazy shit. You don't have time to talk to the girls. Like chances are you're just putting out hands, putting out spins, putting out hands, putting out spins.
I mean, I can talk about, I guess, I will indulge a little bit because since I'm no longer party pit and because I'm at a luxury property on the strip, the celebrities that were here, every celebrity, anybody who had money, you didn't even have to be a celebrity. If you had money, if you were a gambler, you were in Las Vegas.
100%.
You were in Vegas. And let me tell you that the amount of celebrities I saw and played on my game was so I felt out of body experience because me seeing one of the biggest movie stars of our time.
Oh. When you see them in their natural state.
With their buddies, just sitting there drinking, just talking, hanging out. I thought in my head, I'm like, if I ever see these people, I'll be like, oh my God, it's you, right? Like, can I have a picture? Like, I love this movie you were in. I love these movies. I've been watching you for, blah, blah, blah. No. And I know I'm at work and I have to have a certain demeanor and I can't do things that you can regularly do, but I was still out of body experience. It was kind of just like, oh my gosh, they're right there. And I'm just working.
You're like, whoa.
Yeah. I really felt like that.
Did they actually look like themselves? Because have you heard that where people see celebrities out in the wild and they're like, they don't look like
if
you would think they would look?
Oh, absolutely. They did not look how you would think they would look in person. I can 100% tell you that. The only one that I remember seeing and going, oh, he looks like how he looks on TV, and I'll say this name, is Sylvester Stallone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, good one.
Yeah, he didn't play with me. This was another time, not Super Bowl weekend, but he walked by and I was like, that is Sylvester Stallone.
Yes.
There is no going around that. That is him. There he is. That man is tan. He looks just like he looks like in the movies. And I was just like, wow. But the other people that I saw, if I had to do a double take a couple times. Because I went, is that? And I would look and I'm like, that is him.
Yeah.
Or that is her. And I would just be like, whoa. Right? Like some of the biggest movie stars. Yeah.
Number one rule about being in Vegas and being with the famous people, especially at work, because you're not allowed to fangirl.
No fangirling. Mm-mm.
You're not allowed to get excited, ask for photos, stare too much. All of that. All of
Out of
that
body
fun
experience.
Stuff. Yeah.
I was not there.
So when I turned 21, my sister and a few of our friends were in town. We were at Dre's, and Trey Songz was performing, and my sister's a huge Trey Songz fan. She's been a Trey Songz fan for as long as I can remember. So we get pulled into the DJ booth where he's at, and so she like whips her phone out to like take photos, and I was like, no. I was like, we cannot do that. I was like, you really shouldn't even be texting. I was like, just sit there, enjoy the moment, stare at him all you fucking want.
Right, because when are you going to be in the DJ booth again with him?
No, exactly. And I was like, but you can't be like a fangirl taking photos, asking for photos. Like, you shouldn't even really be texting that much. Like, if you get pulled into the DJ booth, like, you got to be like a fun, like, we're here to party, you know, be social.
You're part of the cast now.
Yes. Yeah, right.
So
exactly.
act like the cast.
Exactly. Act like the cast.
Yeah, it was wild.
It was wild.
I can tell you that my experience with Super Bowl weekend was like,
I feel like it was good. I feel like the only thing that I personally am disappointed about was money is not what it should have been.
Right.
For me personally, and at our property, money was not where it should have been. And I was talking, like, I felt like maybe it was the fan base that was out.
Maybe. I don't know.
I thought maybe it was from the fan base that was out.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of logistics to it. Vegas is so big now.
But then, too, like downtown, anytime there's like an event, that was something else I thought of, because I was like, okay, we're holding the Super Bowl. It's right next to the Strip. It's pretty much on the Strip. We could claim that it's pretty much on the Strip. So everyone's already on the Strip. Nobody's going to come downtown.
That's the thing that,
it was the same thing for F1.
Yeah. Once these people get into where they're going to be at for the day, they really don't leave. It's too much of a hassle.
Right. Especially when there's things going on during the day. Yes, the hassle. I'm sure Ubers were outrageously expensive. Like, the traffic, I'm sure, was insane after the...
Oh, it was gridlock. They had videos of these of Las Vegas Boulevard. Nobody was moving.
No.
You were just sitting on Las Vegas Boulevard.
I saw a photo of it.
Yeah.
Like, it was insane.
You're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Right? So then why would I, seeing that or knowing this, go, yeah, let me go downtown.
Exactly.
Not even downtown. Let me go to 2 properties over. Like, you're not even going to do that much. No. You're just like, let's figure it out here.
Right. And then also with like daytime events is like people start drinking early. They wake up early. They start drinking early. Yeah. So they start drinking at noon.
Oh, yeah.
And then by the time the game's over at 8, they've been drunk for 8 hours.
Yeah. It's
they're not
crazy.
Going extra places.
I got my shift. I did a 12-hour shift, 8 to 8. So I literally see these people from like their tipsy stage, right? Because they start in the afternoon till they get to that point to where people are getting wheelchaired down. But then there's like this weird lull from like 5 to 7-ish. And then all of a sudden people are with coffee cups having
downstairs.
Breakfast.
Yes.
And I'm just like, whoa,
yes.
a lot
people are
changes
like coming to play the slots
block
to chill. Yes.
It's crazy.
It is like a separate.
It's really weird. There's always different every shift. So there's 3 shifts. I don't know if we talked about the shifts. Have we talked about shifts?
I feel like we did. I can't remember.
Well, quickly, there's 3 shifts. There is day, swing, and grave. And each shift is known for their own type of player. Right. So I've been there that late, early, whatever you want to call it. I'm like, oh, this is what grave deals with. This is interesting.
Yeah, right? To see the switch over from like the blackouts to the early risers with their coffee. Coming to play slots for a little bit.
I'm leaving the building and people are literally sitting down to have breakfast. And I'm just like, I'm going to bed.
I just ended my night.
Yeah. I'm going to sleep. I've been up for way too long.
Yeah, right. It's weird. That's the only thing that sucks about living the life the hours that we work is that when we go out of town, like I'm up at 3, 4, 5 in the morning. No other city is up at 3, 4, 5 in the morning.
No.
My husband and I did a cruise last year, and I didn't realize this, but I couldn't go to sleep. It was like 4 in the morning. So I just got up and I was like, well, let me see what is my first cruise.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me see what's going on. Nothing. Nobody was there, but I could go outside and I could lay on the deck. And so I just like watched the moon and the stars. It was really nice.
Nice.
But then,
Yeah.
but I'm sorry, side tangent. But yeah, when you're living the nightlife and then the people live the morning life, early riser, day life.
That too. So I'm driving home. People are jogging, doing like their morning jog. And I'm
What?
like, it's too early
Ew.
for this.
Ew. See, when I leave work too, well, you were getting off at 8, so the sun was already up, huh?
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah. So going into work, being in a dark, you're in a
Yes.
casino, there's no windows, right?
Mhm.
And then coming out with the sun out is the
No,
worst.
that's an awful feeling.
It's the worst feeling.
It's an awful feeling. Yeah, when I used to go to the bar a lot after work, sometimes we would leave and we would walk outside and the sun would be up and we'd be like,
Yeah. No.
no. Like, or like sometimes I would speed home because the sun was rising.
I used to, yeah,
And I'd be like,
have
I
nights
don't want
like
to see
that.
it. I don't want to see it. Oh my God.
I do
hated
the
that.
same thing.
I hated that. And people are like, you don't like watching the sunrise? And I'm like,
No.
it's not the contents. Like
Yeah,
this
no.
the thing happening itself is beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, yes, maybe in Missouri working a 9 to 5 and I happen to be awake at 7 and I see the sunrise in the wintertime, but not when I'm supposed to be asleep.
Right.
And I'm seeing the sun come up.
I do not see the sunrise. I don't. If I see the
don't like it.
sunrise, that means I've been at work for too long.
Yeah, I don't like it. Yeah, exactly.
No, I do
I've
the
been
same
out for too long. Or I'd like leave the club when I was younger and I'd come outside and the sun would be up. Dre's after hours.
Mm.
Like, oh my God, because there's no service down there.
Nope.
So your phone doesn't work. It's a black hole.
Mm-hmm.
So your phone doesn't
It
work.
is, yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like leaving because people are like getting carried out and shit. And you're like, oh, okay, like it's time. I'll go home. And you walk out and it's 9 a.m. and the sun's blazing. It's 100 degrees already outside.
Right. And you're like, oh, yeah.
No.
I went too far.
Terrible. Terrible. I'm trying to think if anything really crazy happened
Let's think.
that I saw.
I mean, it took $500,000 from somebody.
Yeah, that's intense.
That was intense. It did not feel good. Just clarify that. Didn't feel good.
Little Christine coming out.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I tell myself that too. I'm like, come on, Christine.
Job security.
I know.
I was so excited that one day I came to visit you. I was like, I just want to walk into High Limit and be like, Christine!
People are like, what the fuck is she talking about?
And then you got EO right when I got there. I literally was walking in. I literally had just gotten to the High Limit room. I just found it because I got lost.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
I was like
yeah,
asking every dealer. I was
yeah.
like, where's the High Limit room? And then I'd get there and I'd be like, where's the High Limit room? And then I'd get to the next set of directions and I'd be like, where's the High Limit room? And I just got there and you texted me. You're like, I got off. And I was like, I was so excited. I really don't think I have any crazy wild what the fucks besides the wannabe fight. Nothing like really. I didn't even hear any wild stories from anybody. I didn't.
We were so busy working.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's just like you don't even have time to sit there and dwell if something did happen.
Yeah.
Just don't have time.
True.
Okay, I had a player. Just pain in the ass. Like screaming, yelling. You want to know what he said to me? I can tell you what he said to me. All right, here's a peek of things that people say to us. I bet your husband, I told you this. He said, I bet your husband or your boyfriend hates you. And I said, no, they love me. And it kind of took him off guard. He kind of went, like,
right.
What? Also, when these players are in that moment, they don't expect, and also I think any
they don't
player
expect you to respond like that.
Yeah, most of these players don't expect you to respond when they're losing their minds like that. When I left the table, I got topped off for break eventually, and I was like, all right, I'm leaving. And he goes, bye. I won't miss you. And I was like, I'll miss you though. Good luck. Hope you win.
I'd have been like, yes, you will. I'll be back in 20 minutes. Silly. Silly Willy.
But it was very much that. I was just dealing with it. He's, losing his mind, but he's still pretty much even. And then I started taking it all. And then it got a little intense. So then
because he was getting mad,
threw the chips.
I did have
through the
someone.
chips, but like hard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they flew to the point where I went like that.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
You like move sideways?
Yeah, I had to move sideways. And, me and my floor just look at each other and we're like, "All right, here we go.
Yep.
Here we go."
Grumpy bear number 1 of the night.
At this point now I have two supervisors next to me.
Mhm.
He grabs the chair and like
The guy grabs the player.
he stood up, grabs the chair, like picks it up, slams it, then goes to shove it, throw it, whatever he was gonna do. It hit the table at one point. It's just like it's one of those things where it's happening so fast. I don't remember what happened,
Right.
but I just remember a chair almost flying.
Was he the only player you had?
No, he was with some people and there was players on the table next to me. Like
Oh,
there were
okay.
people
I
there,
didn't know
yeah.
if you were in like a private reserved.
No, no, no.
Okay.
This was on the floor, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that happened. But
Did he
it's so
just simmer
weird.
down or did somebody go up to him and be like, "Sir"?
He ended up just leaving.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I did have someone Sunday for the first time like get pissed off and like shove their chips across the whole table.
Mm-hmm.
Like he had like maybe like 12, 13 blacks or something, like just a stack. And he like lost the hand and he was like, "Fuck," and just like threw his hand out and like threw his chips across the table. And I just like kept cleaning my cards up. I was like, I'm not picking up
Yeah.
after you. You want to act like a little boy? You can pick up like a little boy.
Yeah, when he threw all those chips,
Yeah.
I moved to the side and then I was just like, I'm not getting them for you.
Oh, I did
You get
have
'em.
a really tired moment. I was on roulette and I marked the number and I was picking up the 2-to-1 bets that play the thirds. It was the columns. So I'm like reached over with my left hand. I like stack it. So I probably have like maybe a stack of like almost 30 chips.
Mm-hmm.
I put it on the table. I go to pick it up with my next hand, my right hand, to put it behind me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still not really looking, but I'm like putting it behind me and I miss the table and they all go on the floor.
You missed the
I
table?
missed the table. Like
Whoa.
I don't know if I was just I
That's
think
a
I was just
tired
trying to
moment.
move fast too cuz I was like, okay, well let me just do this real quick. So I'm like stacking
So it
things,
happened.
switching hands, stacking still so I can like cuz I have like mounds of chips and we don't have mucking machines.
Yeah, so you're
So I just have
mucking.
mounds of chips and I don't have any help. So I'm like just trying to hurry. So I like stacked it and I just went to throw it behind me and I just completely missed the table and they all fell on the floor. And I felt so bad.
Yeah.
I felt so bad because my poor floor
The
had to
floor
come
has to do
over.
it. Oh yeah, that's another thing that I don't think we ever. That's
Yeah.
a weird small detail. We can't bend down and pick up stuff from the floor because we have to keep
No.
eyes on the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah. So we have to keep eyes on the money. We're not allowed to like.
in the
So I
table.
felt bad because I was like, floor. I was like, I'm so sorry. It was like,
That's a
it's
lot of chips
okay.
though.
It
30
was a
chips.
lot of chips. And then the thing is, though, was like, how high is the table off the ground? Like 3-4 feet?
Mm-hmm.
So like it wasn't
Yeah,
like
like 3, yeah.
it wasn't like it fell into a nice pile. Like
No,
it
they
sprayed across the floor, rolling down the aisle of the pit. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, I am so sorry.
I wonder
He's like,
how
it's
that
okay. I
looks
know
though.
you're busy. And I was like, no, I was like, if I could pick it up right now, I wouldn't. I was like, if I could just do it myself, I wouldn't even let you touch anything. Like, I
Right.
wouldn't let you bend over. Like, I'm so sorry.
Just so
I was so
embarrassed and
tired.
just tired. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
tired
I was
moment.
tired.
You
It
would
was the
not miss
very
the
end of the
table if
night.
you
I
weren't
had done
tired.
it was like the very end of the night. I had done 3 doubles back to back. Like I was just like, and it was busy as hell, and I was just moving, and I just completely missed the table, and I felt awful.
Last night, my last like hour, I would say, I was so tired. My vision was getting blurry.
Going in, I've had that happen to me
Mm-hmm.
before. Where my like, I always think it's because I wear contacts, and when I'm really tired, my eyes get dry.
Mm-hmm.
So I've just always felt like my contacts would get blurry because my eyes would get dry.
Yeah.
But I've had moments like that where I'm kind of just like constantly like
Yeah.
touching my eyes, rubbing my eyes, which is gross because we all know our hands are dirty from the chips in the table and
Mm-hmm.
nasty. But I can't fucking see because
Right.
my eyes are
So
literally
you're like trying to use a part of
my
your
eyes are
hand.
literally going blurry. Yeah, so I like always use like the top of my knuckle because I feel like it doesn't get that
Somewhat
much
safe, yeah.
contact. Like I'm not like fingertips to my eyelids. Like I'm trying to use the back of my hands, but I've had that happen to me before.
So I wear glasses because my contacts. I just couldn't. I couldn't. They would get way too dry.
And the
So
smoke too.
I'm
It's
like
tough.
taking my glasses off and like blinking really hard because I'm like, yo, I can't fucking see. Like my eyes are just like, they would go blurry and then they would go clear, right? Like, and it's just because I'm just so tired. I even told my players, like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Like, this is the last shift of
Yeah.
Super Bowl weekend. I
Yeah.
was like, everybody in this room is on fumes.
Yeah.
So forgive us.
Please and thank you.
Because then my floor is standing there and she's watching and she hasn't moved. Like she hasn't, she was like on standby. She was just standing there watching. She wasn't awake.
No. I was like,
wasn't
she was
awake.
sleeping with her eyes open for
Fully.
sure. Because
100%.
I've had a few floors tell me that where they're like, yeah, it looks like I'm paying attention, but I'm really not. And I'm like, I can tell. Like I can tell you're zoned out because I work with you every day, but nobody else can tell, you know. Oh my goodness. I also had, I think it was it Friday night? Saturday night. Saturday night. Nope, Friday night. It was Friday night. I'm in the roulette pit and this guy, so we had $15 tables, which pissed me off one.
That's too low.
Because it was Super Bowl weekend. 15, it's too low. And a majority of the night, I had guys playing 5s or 25s.
Yeah,
so I was like, why are we at $15?
Right.
So then the very end of the night, my very last table, of course, because this is how it always happens to me. I have a great night. And then my last table just ruins it for me, just kills my mood. The very last table, this guy had been playing for like maybe 2 hours, my second rotation with him. He came in when I was about to leave. So I did like 1 or 2 rounds with him. He's playing ones and just mounds. Like I'm talking like 25, 26 chips per number.
Why does he play nickels? Beats me. Yeah.
I just work here.
Yeah.
So
I'll make it make sense.
Here's the thing that pissed me off, that was we went from $15 tables, they bumped them to 25 because everybody was playing 5s. So they were like, well, we'll just bump to 25. And then for like a few minutes, we stood dead and they were like 15.
I hate that.
For literally a couple minutes. It wasn't even like we'd been dead for a while, like just a couple minutes.
Right. What is the point? I don't get it. We don't get it. If there are any
We don't
managers or
understand.
casino owners out there that know why
Listen,
please explain it to us.
I have a lot of questions. If you
We have
know
a lot
any
of
response to that, I'm going to ask you a lot of questions.
Because we
Don't understand.
collectively, supervisors, shift managers, dealers, we don't understand why that happens.
No.
We really don't.
So my table fills up again. This guy comes, he's playing like literal mounds on numbers and splits, and like it was ridiculous. It was stupid. Everyone comes up to me like, there's a craps table in that pit. Craps dealer, why isn't he playing 5s? I was like, you want to tell him? Because it doesn't mean anything coming from me. My other supervisor why isn't he playing 5s? The breaker comes over. He should just be playing 5s or 25. Does somebody want to help me?
Yeah, somebody
help me, because here's what was pissing me off was he was tipping, but not enough for the amount of work that he required and for the amount of money he was winning. He would throw me $5 every spin, but he was hitting stacks of 20. So he was getting paid $700-800 per spin and then would give me 5, but required it to be ones. So then I'm pushing. So I completely gave up on pushing because I also have a full table. So I have 5 other people playing.
Yeah.
I have people coming in and out, putting numbers, bets on outside, everything. So I completely gave up pushing. I'm pushing everything with 2 hands.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah.
And I'm pushing it.
You already dropped chips on the floor.
In 2 separate I already dropped chips on the floor.
Like
I'm pushing it in 2 separate groups. And on top of that, he's standing next to me. He's standing in the closest spot next to me. So it's like awkward because the way the table is set up, like where you drop your money, is a different texture of the table than the rest of the table. So I have these huge stacks of chips that I'm trying to push out, but now I have to push out and around where you drop the money, because if I go this way, the stacks just fall over.
Yeah.
So he's also in a bad spot just for me. So I gave up trying to push one hand. I was like, it's faster if I just do it 2 hands. And I'm doing it in 2 different groups because I'm pushing him 200 chips. So a giant triangle. I'm pushing him 200 chips. And then on top of that, I'm giving him however much else I can give him that I have at the time. So it'd be like 200 chips, and then it'd be like 85 chips or 64 chips, something like
There
that.
was
Like a
left,
weird,
yeah.
whatever amount that I could, then I would push that to him. And so he'd always get like blacks and greens on top because I just don't have enough to give you. Have mounds of chips. He would literally throw me like the green chips back and be like, 75 more.
Are you kidding me?
No. And I would, and like at first, the first like 2 rounds he did that, I just mucked it real quick and pushed it out to him. But then that like put me behind for all my other work. And then after that, I just started throwing it back to him.
Yeah.
Because I was like, dude, I was like, I'm giving you all I can. And then I would spin the ball and he would throw me like 50. He'd be like, look, you mucked some more, 50 more. And I would throw it back to him because I'd be like, balls are already rolling.
Yeah. Nope. Not happening anymore.
And I was just annoyed because everybody saw it. And I was like, he's not going to listen to me.
No.
Because he wants the
doing
show.
it to you. Yeah.
He wants the show. And then he literally was taking my entire rack of blacks.
Oh my gosh.
So then, because he was sliding them to his wife. And I was like, before you leave. And I kept telling him, I was like, before you leave, I need those black backs. I'll give you $1,000 chips. I need those blacks back. Because he's taking my whole rack. It's fucking busy. He's like, yeah, okay. Giving him to his wife. He's like, go sit at the bar. And I'm like, dude, we're tracking what you have anyway.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
players think like, I'm not gonna color up and get bigger chips for my little chips because I don't want the casino to know how much money I have. We know.
First of all, we're trained on that.
Yeah.
Like everyone's trained on this.
I'm calling it when my floor is not behind me. I'm marking it for the floor with lammers to let her know, like, oh, I just gave him 8 more black chips.
But
like,
we're also trained on suspicious activity.
Yeah.
So if you start doing shit like that, now you're going to fall into a different bucket.
Yeah.
So good on you, sir.
So,
now you are suspicious
right.
activity.
True. So he was just annoying because it was just so much work, and it like got to a point where it was like rude. And I was just like throwing it back to him.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, I need more. And I would literally look at his 200 chips that I just pushed him. And I'd be like, can you bet that?
Right.
You need more? Yeah. No, you're not the only person at this table. Like, I'm sorry.
If you want to be the only person, we have high limit and you can go reserve it. How much money do you have?
Like, he could have been playing 25s inside. Like, that's how much money he was playing. Like, he was doing $200-$300 spins.
Ooh, okay. Now I have the counter to that. I can counter it. Hold on.
Okay, so what is your counter?
The counter to this I also had. This is where we're at. Yeah. I also had a player on, it was blackjack, it wasn't roulette, but he only wanted to bet blacks. I'm talking $6,000 in black.
Oh my goodness.
But here's the counter to it. He was betting blacks for me.
Oh, damn it.
At the time he got to 6,000, which is 3 stacks on top of each other. I'm not kidding. It was 3 stacks.
I was not computing in my head $6,000 worth of black chips.
Imagine
and then when
how
you said
tall
3
that
stack.
is.
No, I know exactly. That's insane. That's so ridiculous.
But at this point.
Do you even have that in your rack?
Yeah. Oh. But at this point, he was being reasonable. Okay. So he would ask for blacks up to a certain point, and then I'd be like, I have to give you something else. Right?
At least he was reasonable.
Yes. And not only that, but by the time he got up to 6,000, he was betting 300 for me, 400 for me, 500 for me.
Oh, damn. Okay.
So that's the counter to it.
See, but then it matched up because
exactly.
the work you're doing is matching the money you're getting out of it.
Exactly. So that's the counter to it, where it's like, my floor was even kind of annoyed, and I looked at her and I was like, I'm fine. Yeah. I was like, this is fine.
I'm making money.
I'm talking to him. We're having a good time. Yeah. I'm like, look at you with your 3 stacks, right? Like, I'm laughing with
that's
him.
Not bad, because then you can just like size into it. Were you on blackjack? What were you on? Yeah. Blackjack. Yeah, so you can just like size into it.
Yeah, if he wanted black and he had like $4,000, I was sizing into that. Yeah. It was so much fun. I had fun.
Oh my goodness, that's so cute.
It's because he was also tipping me very well.
Right. See, that's the thing is I'm like, oh, and then I also had a guy. I'm sorry. Were you done with your story?
Yeah, I'm done. That was it. The work match.
Right, the work match. I also had a guy on roulette who wasn't a lot of work, but required a lot of like mental work, emotional work. On roulette? Talking. Yeah. Oh. You know, like when players just like talk a lot and they need like a lot of interaction, which is fine. It's fine. But like he wasn't tipping at all. It was him and 2 of his friends. So it was 3 of them. He didn't tip at all. 1. my relief came tapped out. I like let her know. I was like, they're cool. I was like, they're nice, but they're not tipping. Because here's the thing. If you're an asshole and you're not tipping, I'm trying to get you off my table. If you're nice, but you're not tipping, I might deal with you for a little bit longer because at least you're pleasant to be with.
Right.
Apparently, he was a complete asshole to her and a jerk. So when I came
No.
back, she was like, fuck this dude and walked away. And
Don't you hate when that happens? Because you're like, but
I know, right?
fine. What?
So she literally looked at me and was like, fuck this dude, good luck, and walked away. Didn't say anything to him, nothing. Didn't wave, nothing. So I look at our tokes and I'm like, okay, still nothing's going on. So then he just starts losing. I wonder why. And he is like, come on, Tori, like we did really well earlier. Like you're taking all my money. Why can't I win? At that point I was like, I was so over it. And I'm not normally this blunt with players, but I was like, it's because you're not tipping and you're taking up real estate on a busy weekend. And then you're just mean to my friends. Like, she's not like that. So I was like, the fact that she left the table and said that says a lot about how you guys were treating her. So I was like, now you're just taking up space because she has to come back to this table too. And we're still not making money. And he goes, oh, is that why? And I was like, yes. Didn't tempt, did nothing. I got him down. I was on the shared table where we share the wheel. I got all 3 of them down to their last spin 3 times. And it was her spin. Yeah. And she would hit something that would bring them all the way back to life. 3 times I got them all the way back down.
The worst feeling
And then she would hit something. And it's not her fault, but I was just like,
yeah, but when you're like, this is it, this is the last one, they're out. Same thing on a blackjack game or any other card game where you're like, this is your last bet.
Yeah.
And then boom.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So after I told him, I was like, well, you're losing because you're not tipping. And he was like, really? Is that why? I was like, yes, that is why. And he was like, okay, well, if I hit this one, I give you $50. And I was like, well, it's not my spin. So if she hits it, you have to give her 50 and me 50 for dealing with you.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay. So doesn't hit it, but then like kept saying it and then hit one, but wouldn't give me any money. And at that point, it's like, I can't be like, where's my tip? Because I'm not allowed to do that.
We're not allowed to hustle.
So he was just so annoying. So I had just a couple of annoying moments in roulette, but honestly, nothing really crazy happened this weekend.
No,
besides that, my body is just so.
I mean, I had crazy stuff
tired.
happen, but I think me being tired trumps all of it.
Yeah, I just feel so drained. It's like I woke up one morning and my calves felt like balls of concrete because I'm cocktailing and dealing, so I'm on my feet all day. I'm walking all day. I also was like, my left shoulder.
It's eating you.
I know.
It's slowly just
covering my face.
It feels your face.
My left shoulder was like on fire. Like I came home Sunday night and like my arm was tingling because I'm right-handed. So I hold my tray with my left hand because I'm taking orders and passing out drinks with my right hand because I'm right-handed. And then dealing is so much left hand action because you're pulling cards from your left hand. Or like the wheel that I was on Friday night was a left-handed wheel. So I was like spinning with the left hand, pulling things, spinning, pulling things. Like it was just so much intensity on my left side that I went home Sunday night and my arm was literally tingling. So I feel like probably some good stuff happened this weekend, but I'm just so drained.
Yeah, I think this is one of those episodes where we're just going to have to give it to you guys.
Yeah.
You guys tell us what happened. Also, like I said, I think we're just so tired that, I had the crazy guy throwing chips and chairs and
I would have probably been a little scared if he threw a chair.
I was waiting for it, but then at the same time, I knew he wasn't going to cross that line. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Well, that's, yeah.
Like, he was definitely pushing it, obviously, but I was like, he's not going to cross the line. He's not going to go that far.
Yeah.
He didn't. And he ended up leaving.
Okay.
Well, that was our Super Bowl week.
Solid.
This is coming out, like,
way after Super Bowl.
So, but anybody in the industry
from March Madness.
Oh God, yeah, we're getting into March Madness probably when this comes out. So, but if any of our industry people, work Super Bowl in any city, I think in any capacity at a casino, if you have a sports book, or I don't even know how that works in other places.
I don't know how it works either. I just remember growing up, we just had like Super Bowl parties with our friends and family.
Yeah, so
At
maybe it's
our
just Vegas
house.
thing, or maybe like where people gamble, because there's like
Yeah.
other places that have big casino pods. But either way, you feel our pain.
Yeah.
We do this every year.
It was a great game.
Yeah, it was an amazing.
It's very exciting.
It was fun.
It's always a good weekend.
I think they said 2030 is when it comes back.
What do you mean?
The year 2030, we're having a Super Bowl again.
Oh.
I mean, maybe, I don't know. That's what I heard. I don't know if it's real. Yeah.
Vegas said, let's get on the roster right away.
It was good here.
No, it was.
This is one of those places where it's like, it's a good place to have this.
We have the capacity to hold everyone.
We have a Las Vegas Boulevard that can hold everyone.
Yeah. I actually thought about that because I was like, well, what happens in other cities?
Exactly.
Like when it's in other cities, like what? Like if it was ever at Chiefs Stadium,
right? Like
where are all these people staying? They're doing suicide trips. They're flying in for the game and flying out right after.
Yeah.
Because Kansas City can't hold.
Right. And then the entertainment.
300,000 people. But you know what else though too? Like we always have that many people come in. Not that many people, but we always have a ton of people come in for Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. So maybe like it wasn't that bad for us. Maybe other cities don't get 300,000 people that come.
Right. No, but I'm just saying, even not just that, but like we have the space, we have the hotels, we have the entertainment, we have the means to hold these very rich and famous people here in luxury,
in huge events,
in a very like confined space, like a perimeter. So yeah, let's do it here every year. Not every year. No, I can't do it every year.
Yeah, next year I decided I'm not working.
Not this hard. Events. Not any what?
I'm not doing any events next year. I already decided.
No, you're not. We're working an event.
Because I'm such a workaholic. But I tell myself that
we're going to be doing this at the Super Bowl 2030.
Mini mics.
Yes, mini mics. Okay, but anyways, we have to stop because we're
about to run out of memory.
Yeah.
Anywho,
physically and technology-wise.
Technology-wise and mentally. So we're going to meditate. We're going to get lots of sleep. We'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to tip your cocktail servers, tip your dealers, and don't walk through the pits.
Walk through the pits.
Noodles.